What's up, everybody? Zach Parks here. Thanks for joining me for another video. So this week I'm just kind of doing like a little Q&A video. This street is so silent until I go to film a video, and then like every car in Spartanburg drives by our house. Today's video, we're just gonna do a little Q&A. About a week ago, I put out on like Instagram, for you guys to shoot me any questions that you may have, or just anything like that. And I got some really good questions. I actually ended up having to like delete the story after like a few hours because I was getting so many good ones, and I knew they were gonna take me. They weren't gonna be like quick and easy answers. They were gonna be some pretty lengthy ones. So I went ahead and just like cut it short so that I could just answer the ones that I had already gotten, because like I said, there were some really good ones. So thank you to everyone who submitted questions and all that. I'm really looking forward to like answering these, and I hope I don't sound like a moron. Let's go ahead and get to it. I have all the questions just pulled up on the computer here because I film with my cell phone, so I had to take a little screenshot, just transfer it all over to the desktop here. And so the first question comes from my pal Sarah Stellan. Sarah, I really hope I am pronouncing the new last name right. Congrats on the wedding, by the way. The photos I've seen have been beautiful. Sarah asked, what is the premise of my project? The main goal is to really just document all of Spartanburg County as much as I can. Anything that I find, like unique or just catches my eye. I want people from Spartanburg to be able to look at these photos and, maybe see something that they see every day in a new light, whether it be old mill house or a rundown old fireworks stand or something like that. It's things that most people drive by every day and they don't really pay any mind to. But hopefully when they see these photos, it's going to make them maybe bring back some memories that maybe they'll remember when that fireworks stand or that restaurant or whatever was open or was really in business, because that's what it does for me. I'm going around and I'm revisiting spots that I haven't really paid any attention to since I was a child. Like just this morning, it's about 9:30 now. I've been out shooting since sunrise, and I went to my hometown of Pacolet, South Carolina, which is on the outskirts of Spartanburg County. I made some images at some places that I haven't been to in like, God, I'm 34 now, so easily 20 years, but probably even longer than that. And it just brought back really cool memories, thinking about my grandparents, taking me to listen to bluegrass music at the R.S. Burns Opry House, which is where I took some photos this morning. It just, brings back a lot of really fond memories for me, and I'm hoping that it does that for other people around here. But then, it's not just a project for the people of Spartanburg. It's also like I want other people outside of our area to be able to look at these photos and just, appreciate the scenery and appreciate my home area. That's essentially what I'm trying to do. As a musician, I always wanted to write a record kind of based around this area, and I could just never pull it off. I never wrote the songs that I thought were good enough to make that record happen. So this is kind of my attempt to like do that with photography, and I'm super excited. I'm loving a lot of the images that I've gotten so far, and I've still got quite a bit to go on the project. So yeah, it's exciting, and I really hope that when I'm done, everyone just appreciates it as much as I do. And I guess that's about it. I hope that answers your question, Sarah. So the next question actually comes from Sarah again, and she just asked how how did I go about finding my grant? This isn't something I know a whole lot about. This is the first grant that I've ever applied for. Super, super lucky that I was approved for it and, awarded the funds from Chapman. So for me, I feel like it was a bit, not easy, but we're very fortunate to have a program through a local cultural center, which is the Chapman Cultural Center. And they do an arts grant every 3 months. 4 times a year they do this, and you can apply for it once every 2 years. So I was kind of biding my time. I knew I wanted to apply for it. I waited until I really just had this project in mind. I knew how I was going to do it, and then I applied. And luckily, I was awarded it. And the way it works is they match whatever. So you come up, I had to sit down and come up with the total projected project cost, and then they will. They agree to it, and then they will match what I put into it by 2/3. So let's say, the projected cost are $3,000. That means if I put $1,000 of my own money into it, they will put $2,000 into it to, see it happen. So yeah, super cool. I was super lucky. I definitely encourage anyone, if you have a project in mind, do not hesitate to, get online, research grants. Chances are you probably have something in your area. Spartanburg is not a big area, but we do, people here do have a pretty big love of the arts. We're very fortunate with that. And I don't doubt that any of you have something like Chapman somewhere around you in your community. So yeah, do a little research and reach out. Talk to the people before you apply to the grant. Ask questions. All right, well, apparently they're cutting my grass right now, which I swear they just did the other day. So I guess we're gonna have to stop this for now because they're very loud. I'm sure you can hear them now. And so I'll cut it here, and I'll get back to you guys in just a little while when they piss off. All right, so they're still mowing grass, but I think they're on to the next house now, so hopefully you guys can't hear them in the background. Fingers crossed. So the next question comes from my buddy Robbie Maynard, who also has an amazing YouTube channel. You guys should definitely check that out. But Robbie asked, what is my go-to music for photo drives? I'm actually glad that you specified drives because people always ask me what I listen to when I'm walking around. And when I'm walking around, I typically don't listen to music because I like to be aware of my surroundings and everything. But when I'm driving, I listen to a lot of music. I typically listen to a lot of folky, country stuff, a lot of John Prine, Guy Clark, just kind of older, Americana style stuff. But there's also a lot of new music that I love too. American Aquarium, Caleb Caudle, those are two that come to mind right now that I just really love, who are still putting out just incredible records today. American Aquarium actually just dropped a surprise album of 90s country covers, and I've been listening to that pretty fucking hard lately. So good. I hope they keep that going, because if you are my age and you grew up in the South, you grew up listening to 90s fucking country, and it doesn't matter how long it's been since you've heard those songs, they're still up there. So that was a nice little surprise. It's actually been fitting to drive around and listen to that for the past few days while working on this project. So it's it's just really, really taking me back. And Run the Jewels. That has been a big one over the past year. A whole lot of Run the Jewels. Could never get enough of those guys. So the next few questions all come from my pal Megan Boone, and she asked a few really good ones. So I'm pretty stoked to answer these. I just hope that I do them justice. So So Megan asked, how has photography influenced my own personal development? And photography has helped me out a lot, I feel like, in the last the 3.5, 4 years, however long it's been since I really dove back into photography. And I feel like it's really helped me grow as a person a lot. I've talked plenty of times before on the channel about how I think photography is just a super therapeutic practice. It's definitely helped with my anxiety a lot. I typically don't like going out around people much. It's tough for me to be comfortable in big social situations. Which was one of the reasons that I used to drink a lot, because I would go out to play gigs or go out to see gigs, and just being social, my anxiety would be getting to me. I would answer that with drinking copious amounts of booze, and that wasn't good for me or anyone else. So photography has definitely helped me in that aspect. In social settings now, because I have a camera with me, and it's I feel like I'm supposed to be there because I'm photographing whatever's going on, and it's I feel like I'm there, not necessarily working. God damn it! I'll get back to this. Yeah, so I'm there, and I'm not working, but it gives me a sense of purpose when I'm there, which kind of eases a lot of that discomfort that I tend to get when I'm in social settings. And that's just been a positive all the way around. Except for, I guess, the only negative thing is now I don't like to go out if I can't make photos. But and also with the whole COVID situation, I don't really go out much anymore anyways. It's actually been quite nice for someone like me. So the next question is somewhat of a two-parter from Megan again. What is my favorite and least favorite parts of the film community? And up until recently, I feel like I couldn't have really found anything too bad to say about the film community, but I'm glad that you asked this, Megan, because in recent months, it just seems like I've seen a lot of I love the film community. For the majority of the film community is one of the most supportive, just uplifting communities, online community, whatever that I've found. A lot of people who I consider pretty good friends these days are friends that I've made through the online film community, and I talk to them, on a daily basis, and it's been great. I've made a lot of friends, but here lately, it seems like I've seen a lot of just toxic, just a lot of toxicity in the film community. I've seen a lot of people just, gatekeeping, putting others down, just all this really just childish shit. Just yesterday, actually, I think I saw something from Hamish, who runs the 35MMC website, that posts, just articles, reviews, things like that. Someone who writes for him regularly posted an article not too long ago about film souping. And he said he received an email from some guy who pretty much discrediting film souping and wondering why he would allow such foolish things to go on his website, on his photographic website, and be disrespected. Ansel Adams would be rolling over in his grave. Oh, fuck you. If you think like that, fuck off. God almighty. So fucking stupid. Personally, I don't like film souping. I'm never gonna soup my film. That is something that I would never, ever fucking do. It's not gonna happen. Hate the idea of it. But if someone wants to fucking soup their film, who gives a shit? If that's what they want to do with their photos, it's their fucking photos. Nobody gives a shit. Just fucking, it affects you in zero fucking way. So all these just opinionated, and it typically tends to be these older white dudes, or just I feel like I can safely say 9 times out of 10 it's some fucking dude who probably white dude, probably older, who has been, making photographs since fucking whenever, and Ansel Adams is the end-all be-all God amongst men and all that. Ansel Adams is great, amazing fucking photographer. But as soon as someone uses like an Ansel Adams, like, oh, Ansel Adams would never do. I can't. Like, I can't fucking stand it. And I have also, I'm not going to go on about this too long, but it's like I've also seen a lot of people just kind of complaining and just like griping lately about bigger accounts, photographers who have big YouTube followings or Instagram followings. And like, I'm not going to say any names or anything, but I've seen a lot of people just like complaining about that. Like, why am I, why is my channel not as big as theirs? Why is my follower count on Instagram not as big as theirs? Again, who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter at all. Like, likes and subscribers and followers and all this shit, it doesn't really matter. None of it equates to like anything really. It's like just do you. Like, if you're into photography because you want to, get 1,000 likes and subscribers and followers and all that, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons anyways. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And on to the next question. So the next question is, which type is your favorite and why? Rangefinder, SLR, or TLR? Although I don't own one at the moment, I'm going to go with a rangefinder. I have just always found rangefinders to be super, super easy and very quick to use as opposed to SLRs. I do love an SLR. The fact that you're looking straight through the lens is very convenient, but I feel like for me and my shooting style, I've always felt more comfortable and been a whole lot quicker working with a rangefinder. TLR is not even an option. I'm not a big TLR fan at all. So the next question comes from Film and Brews, and they ask, what photographers have influenced me the most? And I pretty much just immediately turned around to my table back here and grabbed like the first 4 photo books. These are the ones that pretty much stay within arm's reach of me. I feel like that's a pretty good representation of what photographers have, really influenced me the most. The only one I will mention that's not that you're not going to see in these few books here is Stephen Shore, who is a phenomenal photographer. I am a huge fan. But surprisingly, I don't own any of Stephen Shore's photo books. I need to fix that. If anyone's selling a copy of Uncommon Places, get at your boy. Let's go ahead and get on with this. First one, William Albert Allard, who I discovered through Matt Day's. One of Matt Day's like old videos, he was talking about this book, Portraits of America, and I hopped on eBay and picked this up for, I want to say it was like under $20, maybe $25 at most. But picked this up, and his work has just been a big inspiration. His documentary style of the cowboys and stuff has just been very nice. Sorry, there's a lot of words in this one too, but his portrait work is great. He's an amazing photographer, and this book has definitely been like a big influence on me. And he shoots a lot of scenes and a lot of portraits and people, just the way that I like to look at things, or things that I like to look at, I should say. Next up, this one really needs little to no introduction, but Jason Lee has been a huge influence. When I first started getting back into photography, it was super cool to find out that one of my favorite skateboarders and actors had also like become an incredibly talented photographer, not to mention just like a film specific photographer over the years. And it's been really, really cool looking at his photographs and everything. His landscape work really, really, really caught my eye to begin with. And this is his latest book, In the Gold Dust Rush. Hillary picked this up for me for Christmas, and that was a very pleasant surprise because I wasn't planning on buying it because I was broke. So I'm glad she did. This is all black and white photographs. made throughout his career. And it's a very beautiful book. Super nice collection. And if you are familiar with Jason's work, which I'm sure you are, like me, you're used to seeing a majority of color work from him. So getting a book that is just all black and white photos is like super nice, and it's a nice little insight into some of the more like finer details of, you know, how he like sees a scene, you know. And his black and white work is also great too. He shoots a lot of black and white slide film, and it looks really fucking cool. Next up is Joel Meyerwitz, big inspiration. This book, Cape Light, is an incredible study of light. Just made, all of the images were made in Cape Cod with a large format camera. It's super nice. But Joel is not only an amazing photographer, he just seems like a really great human being. I mentioned it on one of the like previous videos here recently that he was on a podcast called Talk Easy, and go listen to that conversation, because listening to Joel talk about photography is just one of the, it's a great experience. You can really tell and hear in his voice how much he loves the medium of photography. And anytime I listen to him speak about photography, it leaves me walking away just feeling so proud to do what it is that I do. You know, like it gets me amped, you know, I'm like, yes, I am a fucking photographer. So Joel, if by any chance you're watching this, thank you for all of the pep talks. Last, but definitely not least, I would put this next one first. When I first started getting into photography heavily again a few years ago, Fred Herzog's Modern Color was the first photo book that I bought. It popped up as a recommendation on like Amazon or something. I put in a special order through the bookstore here in town because fuck Amazon. They were able to get the book for me, and I have kept this book within arm's reach since then. I look through this book at least once a month. Herzog's work is an incredible inspiration to me. If you are a color photographer or just a photographer in general, Fred Herzog is one of the greats. You know, a lot of people talk about Eggleston all the time. I'm gonna say it here. I prefer Herzog over Eggleston. They were both about like same time period and everything, but I prefer Herzog's work. This photo here is fucking, I mean, these two photos, I'm glad I opened this page. They're like, this is incredible work. If you don't own this book, buy this book. You will not regret it. So my buddy Bryn asked, are there any formats that I haven't shot that I would like to try, like 6x17? You hit the nail on the head with that one, man. I think 6x17 is really the only format that I haven't shot that I would really love to shoot, or like 6x12, 6x7, something like medium format panoramic would be very nice. I love the 4x5 aspect ratio that I get with like 6x7, and I'm pretty much like sticking with that. This is definitely getting long. I don't know how long, but it's definitely getting long now, so I'm just gonna go with one more. I thought I was gonna cut it short enough by just like selecting these few questions, but I like to talk apparently. So lastly, what is my loftiest goal for this year? Manifest. My loftiest goal, I think, is getting this project that I'm currently working on. I'm finishing up Where Buzzards Roost. The photographic part of it, like actually going out and making the images, and then I am, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that come the holiday season, like November-ish, that I will be putting out my first legit like hardcover photo book, like big photo book. That's the plan. I'm hoping I can get it done by like within that time period. There's a chance that maybe next spring or something, but I'm really gonna try to push and get it done and out by the holidays. So yeah, I think that's easily my loftiest goal this year. It's probably my loftiest goal that I've ever had since I really picked the camera up again. So yeah, manifest, put it out there, gonna get it done, and it's gonna sell out, and I'm gonna become a thousandaire. Thank you all so much for submitting these questions and everything. It's been really, really fun just answering, and I'm rambling a little bit. I hope you all enjoyed what I had to say. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, that's cool, because you can give it the thumbs down. Who cares? And if you're new here, I put these videos out once a week, and you can hit that subscribe button. And yeah, you can hit that little notification bell, and that will just keep you updated on everything that I'm doing. And lastly, there is a print shop where you guys can go to purchase prints. All of the money made from that just goes towards, keeping the gas tank full, keeping film in the fridge, and keeping the lights on here at the house, so that I can just keep these videos coming for you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, you're probably aware of this, but this month I started doing a special limited edition print every month. So it gets announced on the first of the month. I'm only doing 10 of them throughout the month. That's it. They're all going to be printed on a very nice textured rag paper. At the current time, I have 4 left of this month's limited print. It's of the Shiloh Methodist Church out in Edmond, South Carolina. These are still available for purchase. Just head on over to Instagram, shoot me a DM if you would like to get one. They are right now. I dropped the price on them a little bit because we just had to put the van back in the shop, and I'm trying to make as much money as quickly as I can. So they are $30 each. That includes shipping here in the U.S. If you're international and you want one, I can probably do it for like $45. Shipping, I know, will at least be like $15. So head on over to Instagram, which is at Zach Parks Photo. As usual, all of this will be linked down below for your convenience and mine. But I think that's going to do it for this week. Again, thank you to everyone who reached out and submitted these questions. This was super fun. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, so it was cool catching up with you guys. And everyone, just take it easy, enjoy your week, and I'll see you next time.